Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. We're going to preview the NBA All-Star Game. I'm in studio, Marco D'Angelo with Vegas Runner. VR, I'm not going to make any bones about it. I'm as old school. I'm old. We know that. But I'm as old school as that. I just...
Anti-Pro Bowl?
I can't play Pro Bowls.
All-Star Game?
Can't play All-Star Games. I don't. The only one that I really ever get
baseball.
Maybe a little bit, sometimes do it, would be the Baseball All-Star Game. But here, nobody's going to play defense. You know, yeah, you can look and break down some of the players and say, okay, this roster's got, you know what. But here's the problem. You don't know who's going to match up with who for how long. And, you know, when you get into
who was out partying the night before.
Yeah.
You know, who was getting lap dances, who was drinking, who doesn't care.
We're not talking about you.
You're right.
That sounded like you're every evening here in Vegas. But let's get back to this game here. You've actually got to play on this. And, you know, hey, if you can come up with an edge, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not my cup of tea.
I agree. Here's the thing. Most bettors are going to take the over. And I don't see value in that because the books already know it, and they inflate the price. And yet you still see some of the professional bettors get out ahead of the market and bet the over because by tip-off, it's going to be a couple points higher than what it opened at.
Come back and
Exactly. And there's no true steam position at all. I'm going to look at the side here, and I like the West. It's
Go West, young man.
Go West, young man. It opened 4. It's down to 3.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops some more. And my reasoning's simple. It's the Miami Heat. At least that's how the game's going to start off. It's the Miami Heat against the West. And I think because of that, you are going to get a more motivated West team, a little ego, a little something, a chip on their shoulder, because it is the defending champions. If you look at the roster for the East, not only is it the Miami head coach, but 3 of the 5 starters are Miami Heat. Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. I think Popovich being on the West, first you have a huge coaching advantage. He's the kind of coach you're going to listen to and you're going to respect. Even if it is an all-star game, he's not going to get any lip. And guys are going to be more serious, I think, on the West with him than they are with Spoelstra in Miami.
What if Popovich decides to rest players?
He looks like he's like 20 years old. You know what I mean? No one's going to listen to him. No one's going to listen to him. And when you look at the West, the reason, like you said, you look at the players, you know, you look at the matchups, and I really think, forget the starters where I think they have an advantage. I think the bench is where they have the clear advantage. And you touched on another great point. You don't play defense. And if you look at the bench, I think as far as the West goes with Westbrook, Aldridge, Duncan, Harden, Lee, Parker, and Randolph, those guys are scorers. When you look at the East's bench, it's Noah, Lopez, Holiday, Irvin, George, Deng, Chandler. As far as scoring goes, I gotta give the nod to the West there. So I think they'll be a little more motivated because they want to beat the Miami Heat head coach and 3 starters, and then on top of it, you have the much better coach. And you have the deeper and better bench that will be able to score when no one's playing defense. So I'm going to go ahead, lay the points with the West here, lay the 3.5. Line may even drop a little bit more. I like the West.
All right. I can't argue with you. We're going to make it official with VR. He broke it all down there. You know, the only thing I'll say, you know, with the game is that, you know, you touched about the public's going to be on the over, and there's no question about that. And it's every year, it's like, where do they put the number? Can they put a number high enough?
250s, 260s, 270s. Now it's in 280s.
Yeah, it's higher than that. We're looking at this game on Sunday. It's at 290.
Yeah.
It's a situation of where does it stop? But I know just from the Pro Bowl that we just had, a lot of people had that same discussion that Vegas is finally over adjusting the number.
And eventually it reaches a point where the value's on the other side. I agree. Google's a great company, but at what price? It reaches a price where Google's no longer offering value. And I get it. Maybe the under doesn't offer line value, but the way they play the game, it still has a high probability of going over.
Exactly. And the Pro Bowl went over.
I don't want an
this
under.
Year.
I didn't have an under ticket.
Yeah. You know, that's why I'll watch it. I think the NBA All-Star Game probably is the most fun game to watch of the All-Star games. No question about it. But as far as betting purposes, I'll find some better things to put. 'Put my money on. But let's go ahead and make it official with your free pick.
All right, let's go.
Make it official with your free pick. All right, I can't argue with you. We're going to make it official with the NBA All-Star Game. probably is the most fun game to watch of the All-Star games. No question about it. But as far as betting purposes, I'll find some better things to put my money on. But let's make go ahead, make it official with your free pick.
NBA All-Star Game, East-West. I'm going to pass on the total. I'm going to go on the side. I'm going to take the favorite here, the West. I just think we have the makings of what you need to find a little bit of value in a game like this. And I think we'll have a little bit bigger motivation on the West side that wants to prove they can beat the Miami Heat, 3 starters and the coach. Tells you all you need to know. I believe we have the better coach, an advantage there with Popovich for the West. And I think we have a much better bench as far as being able to score points. So for me, laying that small price on the West makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if the betting public goes with the dog in this one, and the books actually need my side.
No question. LeBron James is going to get a lot of followers.
Yeah, especially the way he's been playing of late, tearing it up.
That's it for this week, guys. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo. We'll be back next week. We'll have videos all week long. We'll have Brian Leonard, Steve Fezzik in early in the week. VR and myself will be back end of the week, and we'll try to squeeze Scott Spreitzer in as well sometime during the week. So stay tuned to Pregame.tv for all of your betting information. We break it down for you each week. Thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck this weekend.